Hey, hello there. The last one of these that did went very well, and I found another post on Learndota that's a pretty good match for these videos, so I decided to go ahead and make another. So this person's asking how to get above Herald, and they provided a Dota buff. So pretty much anyone above below Archon or like Archon or below that gives Dota buffs or some replays. That sounds like I could help. I'll take a look at. So at Herald, this person says they're really new, so there's going to be a lot of mistakes. So what I'm going to be mostly looking for is like really low hanging fruit that can be fixed. So that's going to be the main thing. If they've played this a little, I mean, we can look at their Dota buff. They have like 130 games played. Then there's just going to be a lot of issues, which is fine. They just started ranked. But we're just going to look for like easy fixes. So I assume it's probably going to be like actually hitting enemies in lane, harassing, playing your role properly, that kind of stuff. I don't know. So if we look at this, they're pretty decent on Dragon Knight. They played a lot of Dragon Knight and have a 54% win rate. But even Axe, who's like second most played, they have an awful win rate on. I'm gonna assume the Dragon Knight win rate's high because it's like really a forgiving hero. It's really tanky, has really high HP regen. In a way that Axe doesn't exactly. Axe also is expected to like know the right moment to jump into the middle of the fight. So I don't think it's that like they know Dragon Knight's buttons better. I feel like Dragon Knight's play style is like can be really passive and standard. Where X, you kind of have to be aggro. You have to like cut waves. You have to start the right fights at the right times, stuff like that. Pretty much none of their win rates are above 50 other than Dragon Knight. And like I said, I don't know if that's because like they're really good at Dragon Knight. They've practiced. They've only played 16 more games than they have on Axe. So I'm gonna assume that it's just that Dragon Knight's playstyle happened to match them better, which isn't like necessarily even saying it's matching their playstyle. It's matching the playstyle of someone who doesn't have a lot of experience. So let's hop in here 2x speed. Okay. I'll immediately say I don't know how this thing ended up in your backpack. There is a thing you can hold Alt. For me, I have Alt on space, but you can hold Alt and see what this does. See what the attribute numbers do, which is interesting. So you can take a look at how much you're losing by having that in your backpack.
Well, let's get to it,
and hopefully you fix it. I don't know. I don't even know how that happens. So with buying stuff in the pregame screen, I don't know how that ends up in your backpack. But I mean, the starting items look decent. It looks like you followed a guide, which is totally good for Herald, I think. I know people are going to crap on guides. I think at some point you should shift away from guides. But I actually think when you're Herald, when you're this new at the game, that like turning your brain off and following a guide is probably better than if you thought and made your own decisions. And it's one less thing to think about when you worry about the game. I don't like this. Now, beyond the fact that I can see all this, it's the rune's not spawning for 15 seconds. You'd only have one person backing you up. You have no idea what's here. And it's almost always something. They almost always are going to have at least one person standing here. That person will be able to see you, and they'll have time if there's people here, if there's people here, for them all to run over and bully you. On top of the fact that there happen to be 3 people here and a ward. There's no reason to stand here unless like your team's behind you and you're baiting or something. But almost always, unless they're doing a gank, what they're going to do at the start is, you know, have someone here, someone here, someone here. If they're doing something crazy, they'll like have their whole team go this way or this way. But 90% of the games, they're going to have someone here. They're going to have someone here. They're going to have someone here. And your team to be up, so you're going to have someone here, which is pretty safe. Also, your top lane, are you... What happened here? You're the off laner, but you're playing top. Was there even if there was a discussion, and you decided to swap roles, which I would not recommend. I'd say no, dude, you got at safe lane, you play safe lane, especially if you don't have a safe laner. If you don't know how. This is Legion Commander. Now, my hero list is, this is my carry hero page. I have a support one too. but this is my carry page. Legion is not even on this page. This is all A, B, C, and S tier mid lane or safe laners from last patch. And Legion did not get any significant buff. Legion is not really a carry. So if you don't have a carry in your Legion is like vaguely kind of, so she's like a D tier, I don't know, E or F tier, whatever you would say, where a carry where like I've seen it a few times, but that's not what she's good at. It doesn't match her. And it puts your team in a position where, because you have no real carry, your team's going to have a big mid-game power spike, I think. I think Wind Ranger's strong in the mid-game, Mars is strong in the mid-game, you're strong in the mid-game. So you're going to have this big, like, power spike from, like, 15 to 30 minutes, I would think. And then you're going to start falling behind their team, who has people like a Ricky and a Sniper that you can't outscale. And the thing is, something like that can work, but it can't work in Herald. In Herald, people cannot end a game by 30 minutes. Now, technically, anything can work, but the general game plan that you picking Legion put your team into, one where you can't outfarm their carry and you can't outcarry their carry, you have to win the game at like a strong mid-game timing, and that's something Heralds are awful at. Because they always throw high ground, they always throw random team fights. They're not capable of just like winning and then winning early and then converting that into a win and taking a bunch of objectives and making pressure and holding a formation. They can't do that. So I think that agreeing to role swap when you don't have a carry that you know how to play is very bad. The guy got cute carry. Just say like, too bad. Someone else swap.
Each other for my amusement.
I don't believe you're in a party either. I didn't see any parties. So, block. This is fine. I don't know if you know, but on the other side of the map, it's not fine. It's not okay to block on this side. On the Radiant side, the creeps meet like right here. I don't know if I can draw. The creeps meet like right here at the edge of the tower. But on the Dire side, they meet like here. So you can block it all the way back to there. But just so you know.
Has to happen eventually. First blood, everybody.
Okay, so they got first blood on your Wind. Okay. So, first of all, check what your techie says. You should know what your support has. And boom, look, he's got a blast off up soon. This guy comes to lane. So far, it seems like he's alone. I don't know. But he's already used most of his mana. He's used some HP. Your techies has a self-destruct thing, and he has the spleen secret sauce thing. So he's going to be trying to get really early kills with that. That's a like crazy early kill thing. It costs you nothing to just walk up and Q this guy. You can actually time it and get some last hits with it, but if you are at full HP and full mana, then you are wasting your HP regen, your mana regen. These two numbers, 1 point plus 1.2 mana regen per second plus 3.3 HP regen per second, which, think about it, that's like 200 HP a minute, right? Somewhere in that ballpark. I can pull out a calculator. 3.3 times 60. 198. So 198 HP per minute and 70 mana per second, or per minute, which is like a whole spell. You're just wasting that if you are sitting at full HP, full mana. So I think you should just be willing to go up and cast a spell on this guy. You're going to get a shield. If you can even time it and get one or two of these last hits with it, but you might be able to just bully this guy away. I can see up here that their sniper's also low, which for some reason is their offlaner because it is Herald. He chose to play offlane sniper. But even if you don't see that, you should see this guy's low. You should see that your support is going to want to go on him in 4 seconds. Communication would help with that, but whatever. And that you want to go trade because you want to start regenning your resources. So I think you should go do that. No. Okay, so techies went on him. If you had gone and queued, I think this would be a kill, but it's also beyond the fact you kind of should have seen it before. And I can look at this in real time, but it seemed like you really reacted slowly. Maybe you don't know what techies does. That's just one of those things. But oh my god, these visual glitches. Okay. So in real time, you're pulling the aggro back before there are any enemies. Is that what that was? Wait. Make sure. I didn't. Okay, that's crazy. So you're doing global creep aggro tricks. There's no real need to. Doing the creep aggro thing does actually push out the wave. The idea would be to bring it back here onto your range creep, which I don't think you succeed at, and kill your range creep, and then that kind of counters it. But the other idea is just to get the wave further from the enemy if you don't want to farm it. But I think because you're playing an offlaner as a carry, and they're playing a carry as an offlaner, which you don't necessarily know yet, you're stronger in this lane, and you kind of want to be up in their face. There's no one in the lane yet for you to want to like pull away from. So I don't really see it's cool that you're practicing this. But in actuality, if you're not getting it onto this range creep, it's actually bad, and you might even not want that because you might just want to be up in their face when they're farming. You don't want to be far away from each other farming. So anyway, he grabs that thing. Oops, I meant to hit pause. So yeah, I think that's just you, because while he was charging this up and going, you started walking away. I think you might just not know what Techies does. But if you see him charging that up, you should go in. I mean, especially someone weak like Aveno. So I'd say there seems to be a game sense that you didn't realize, hey, I'm playing an offlaner as a carry, and they're playing a carry as an offlaner. Now, you happen to get the kill. It's great and all, but he could have just like left, and that could have not happened. So you ought to kill because they made another big mistake. But yeah, so this is a lane I think you should play up in their face, especially against the sniper. You don't want to. Trying to keep your range from him isn't gonna really work. You want to be up in his face so you can actually trade. If you're gonna be here, he can get free hits on you. If you're gonna be farming here, he can't get free hits on you, or he has to back farther off and give up last hits. Okay. So, let's see here. Relatively nice. Techie's taking last hits from you, which is annoying. But okay, so here I think you should probably just do a pull. Unless you're gonna like tower dive the sniper, you don't want to be farming the. So this is something I talk about a lot. When a wave's under tower, the person who's defending the tower, their last hits are going away very quickly. The person whose wave is pushing into the tower is not losing last hits very quickly. So he, while the wave's under his tower, has to sit here and get all these last hits because they're going to disappear fast. These ones aren't. Maybe one of these creeps will die. So right now you're kind of free, if you're not going to be like tower diving or anything, to do a pull and get this lane back where you want it. Once again, this is a lane where you kind of want to be in their face and contesting. So you're going to pull him away from your tower. And if he wants to contest this, you actually want that. Your techies, I don't know what the self-destruct cooldown is, but it's got to be soon. Yeah, in 11 seconds. So picture this. You do a pull. He gets these last hits. The wave pushes out. You can't avoid that. And then he sees there's a pull going on. He tries to come over and stop it or something. You like hit Q, and Techie jumps out on him from the trees and bombs him. Right now, the sniper's dead, and the lane's back where you want it. You know, you get to farm this. The next waves are going to meet right here. This whole wave's going to die. That would be a really good play. I think right now there's nothing for you under this tower. Once again, maybe the Techies wants to dive. He can't yet, but I could see that. But it's not like a really safe, reliable play. Once again, you're trying to do creep aggro, I think I saw, when it doesn't make sense. Now, it's cool that you're practicing the mechanic. I actually think you're doing something I really like, which is I tell people in Dota that you should really focus on improving one mechanic at a time and hyper-focus on it until you can do it without thinking about it. And it seems like right now you're working on creep aggro, and you mentioned it in your post. So I do kind of like that. You're doing it at some of the wrong times, but generally I think, like, oh, I'm going to do a bunch of creep aggro, and then I can do it without thinking, and then I can kind of figure out if I actually want to do it. So I'm not going to hate on that too much, but you're doing it at times where it's not actually giving you an advantage beyond the fact that you are practicing the mechanic, which is nice. I think a pull would have been great, because once again, if you did a pull, this creep wave wouldn't be there. These guys would go Up here, they'd have to contest you. You can maybe grab their creep wave and pull it in here or something, but either way. Because otherwise, you pretty much wasted that time. So once again, you take this. When the lane's pushed in like this and you have access to the big camp, just pull it, especially if you're winning the lane, which you are. Theoretically, they can't fight you. If they get, the only way they can fight you is by staying at a really long range. So you have to make them come forward. And pulling does that. It makes them come forward to contest the camp, or it makes them come forward to do this. Techies is actually pulling this, which is crazy for Herald, but okay. I don't know if you know this is happening, because it could get you in trouble if it's not. Yeah, you screwed up on the courier and you didn't know that your techies wasn't there, I assume. So here you should be eating a Tango. You should have eaten it before. I was busy looking at the pull, but pretty much anytime you're lowish, you should just eat the Tango to top off. Now, you are on Legion, and you do get a passive heal every now and then, so I can forgive you not doing it quite yet. And that's fine, because it's like, oh, maybe I get 3 passive procs and I'm back to full HP, you know, in a minute I regen this much. But while you're running away and getting hit and run at here, you should eat a Tango. Now, I don't know if you know this, but you can shift queue up commands to do them instead of like do this command, actually no, do this command, actually no. If you hold shift while you're saying do this, then this, then this. So you could like say hold shift, right click here, and then while holding shift, order to eat a Tango on this tree. And then while still holding shift, right click here. And your guy would walk here, eat a Tango, keep walking, all in one smooth movement. So it's really good while running away, and you can also even like cut paths for yourself with it. And then the courier micro is, I mean, I'm not going to get too mad at you. This is something that's going to happen until you're a higher skill. But at totally, I would say at my level, pretty much everyone's keeping an eye on their courier, and you need to get there at some point. But I can totally understand that's too much to think about when you've been playing the game for 2 months. So I think a lot of this came from generally the fact, I don't know if you were aware this pull was happening. When that pull is happening, 1, your wave's about to disappear. 2, you're in a 2v1 situation. So like if techies had been here, it would have been fine, but that's not on techies, that's on you for not knowing what to do about this. Now, theoretically, once you get techie, you should have done this pull and not this pull, since you have access to the camp, but whatever. Yeah, the shift queuing would have helped there. Now the lane's really hard for you. Techies just wasted this thing. So now the lane sucks. Go back to 2 times speed. The thing is, now would be the time that you would actually have wanted to do the creep aggro. Because now it's like, okay, I'm really low, but this creep's about to die. Maybe I can pull this creep back and then hit it safely back here. Or get the tower to hit it once and then I hit it, right? So now there's like last hits disappearing, and you don't want to go up and get them, but you could do a creep aggro thing. Walk up here, creep aggro, pull the creep back to like here, and then hit it more safely. Something BSJ talks about is like low interaction versus high interaction behavior in the carrier role. And generally, I think before you want to do very high interaction stuff, and high interaction stuff is pulling this camp, doing a tower dive, farming the lane right here. But low interaction stuff is like doing this pull in, farming it, and then like farming under tower, or trying to pull the creep wave like back here and farming it. Stuff where they can't really interact with you. And you should be aiming to do more of that type of stuff. Pull the creep wave away from them, even if you have to farm under tower, because you can't walk up and get a last hit right now. So we'll see. Because once again, this is where you probably should be doing the creep aggro stuff, and it's where I don't see you doing it. So you've actually learned the mechanic, but not really why or when to do it. Now would be the time to be doing it. So yeah, not the time to man up and fight this guy at all. Yeah. So you die for that because you chose something. Well, you were low. Well, you were low on resources; they were high. You chose something that was high interaction when you wanted to not interact with them. So what you should have done was just like pulled the creep wave. If you can chain pull, that's even better. Where you attack them, they follow you for like 2 or 3 seconds, and they stop, and then right when they stop, you do it again, and then they follow you again, and you can get them like totally detached. So you can bring them from here to here to here, and then farm it there very safely. Techie's gonna stand, fight, commit suicide. Happened to get him a kill, but this is just what you're gonna have to deal with your teammates down in Herald. So you should be able to theoretically know when to play safe in 2v1. Like, you'll be able to read what your teammates good at, what they're bad at. This guy is good at YOLOing and going for kills. He's not so great at the support stuff. You know, you have no ward, the pull he did was bad, whatever. There he couldn't just back off, but he had to, and he's a Techie's player, you know. He had to sit there and play and blow himself up and get a sick kill. Okay. So once again, you should be pulling the creeps. You want to get away from these guys, so you would like to get the creeps like here. If you can, so once again, you have 2 options. You do a double creep drag to just get them like totally detached from the wave and like lead them back here and farm them or something. Or when a creep's low, you walk in and drag it away, and then get the last hit on it. Because you couldn't really drag it onto the range creep there, because this guy the Venom was here, so he could still just bully you while you're getting the range creep. Yep. So, and this is working out because your Techies is actually kind of good at fighting. But I mean, you're probably dead here. Eating a tango while running away maybe could have saved you, like we talked about earlier. But in general, it's the time where you actually should be doing that creep drag is when you're not. So yeah, you died. And now this lane's just very, very difficult.
Radiant's middle.
So I would say pretty much you have 3 options here. I think passively farming the wave is no longer an option. So your options are, whenever your Techies is ready and has the soft cooldown, you run at someone. You run at the sniper, maybe. You run at the Veno. Especially when you have boots, you can check if they do. Sniper does not. Sniper does not have boots. You should be able to punish that. You should... checking people's inventories, checking other people, that might be one of those things to work on. Like... dragging aggro, where it's one of those things like if you focus on it for like 5-10 games, you then do it on autopilot, and you can start to realize, hey, I have boots, the sniper doesn't. The sniper's a weak offlaner, I should punish him. All he has is a Morbid Mask, sorry. He's going to be building into Mask Madness. It's very greedy. I should be able to just run at him and punish him whenever Techies is ready. Once he's chipped away at you, that opportunity's gone. So pretty much, if you're there fresh, you can go play super aggressive. Otherwise, you play really defensive and try and aggro the creeps totally away from them, or you just have to go jungle. You do pulls and then farm your own pulls and then farm it under tower, and then you go farm this, stuff like that. Like, that would be the loop, right? You would pull to the small camp. You tell Techies, like, hey, just go gank. I don't want to fight these guys. So you'd like pull the small camp, which then you get to farm the small camp. The wave's going to push in. Then like you and 2 creeps are going to come out of here, go kill the wave under tower. Then you go fight this camp, go do the pull again. Something like that. You know, you can come over here and you just kind of try and keep your tower alive, get what farm you can. Or you just straight up go jungle. That's the third option. I would say you just go jungle these camps. You can jungle these 2 if you're like full HP. So you get the buff down here that gives you extra HP regen, and you have built-in HP regen. So if you're topped off, you can farm these, and if you're low, you can farm these. And then if the creep wave ever gets under tower, once again, even if it's hitting your tower, you do not... if their sniper's there and they're Veno, you still don't fight it under tower. You pull the creep wave off this way, off into those trees, and then farm it. So, I mean, let's go faster, because I don't know how much I want to go over. Maybe I'll go look at a support game after this, because this is not really your main role. I think in offlane, it's all a little different. Here, this is a really good opportunity for you, because your Q does damage and shield based on how many units it hits. This should be a really golden opportunity that you can walk in here and hit 7 creeps and 2 heroes. I mean, I don't know, damage per creep 16, damage per hero 70. So, I mean, I know it's a lot, right? 16 times 7 plus 140. 252. So you do 252 damage and get a shield off of that too. Like that could be really good because you're gonna do that to both of them. You just walk up here right now and hit 500 damage, get a shield, walk away. This guy's probably gonna actually jump on them. He's probably gonna, if this guy sees them, he's gonna go blow himself up. So this would fall into that category of what I said, where it's like, well, you're full HP and this guy has this thing. You can still play this lane aggressively. So instead of walking here and trying to passively farm it, not really an option against sniper. You have to walk up in their face and hit Q. And maybe a kill can happen because 250 damage is going to be like a third of his health. This guy's going to jump on him, do 300 damage, and then like he's dead, you know? Yep. Like I said, that guy, this is something you should have picked up on. I've picked up on. Anytime his self-destruct, whatever it's called, I don't know the name of the spell, is off cooldown, he's trying to use it, and if you're going up to the enemy and not intending to fight them, you're baiting him. Which is kind of on him, but it's kind of on you to realize that that guy will press his E if it is an option. So, because you got him, you went up and he did it, now he's done, now you're 2v1. So, I don't think you farm this camp. I think you farm, if you're going to farm camps, you farm these camps, you use this camp to pull. So when you pull this camp, you get the creep wave under your tower, and then you can go farm some creeps under your tower. And then it's going to push out, and then you go do some stuff and wait for it to come back in, wait for this pull to be available again. If you just kill this camp, you're totally eliminating the option of pulling the creep wave back to somewhere where you can farm it by doing a pull. And a lot of this applies in offlane with this same camp too. Where if you're winning the offlane, you just want to pull this camp over and over. If you're losing, it's harder, because once again, that's a high interaction thing. But we'll look at a bit more of this, but I think I might go take a look at, yeah, so you're just doing these, you're not realizing like your three options. Really low interaction plays, really high interaction plays right when you're full HP and your techies is ready, or go jungle. Instead, you're doing high interaction plays alone when your techies is not ready, and it's getting you killed. Beyond the fact that I think Legion was probably a bad pick in general. I don't know how the mid game goes. I saw you won a lot of duels in the stat screen, and we can skip forward. This lane's pretty dead. Yeah, can we see the last hits? So you have the least lasts of all the cores on your team, but how is is this Veno juggling? How does the Veno have as many last hits as their Ricky? Yeah, whatever. Okay, so at this point, you're just jungling.
Kill spree!
Radiant's middle
Look at you
tower
go.
is taking
More
courage.
cracking
Dire's
limbs,
middle
blood
tower evil on
spraying
their
everywhere.
souls as dire. Please, let this Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
Okay, so stuff like that's just wasted time. And also, just say creep waves are worth a lot more. So there was a creep wave coming in, and you backed off. There was a team fight going on down here. I don't really see the mini map right now, but there was just a big team fight going on. So this is all your super safe farm. It's under tower. There's a flag creep. So so once again, the indecision of like, oh, I'm gonna walk here. Actually, the camp hasn't spawned yet, which you should know. It shows it on your mini map. If your team blocked a camp, it should show it on your mini map. It's not 100%, but usually if you have vision of it being blocked, or you had vision of it being empty at some point, the icon's not there. But to then walk here, decide not to be here, and then go farm this, which was the worst farm. Like small stuff like that, you would want to just grab this creep wave when it pushes into your tower. That's what you're looking for on carry. Obviously, while you're jungling, you just jungle, but you keep an eye on the minimap for creep waves that are going to be safe to farm. And then you want to work your way over to them and hopefully be there before they are. Because creep waves are worth more. If you're not getting creep waves, you're falling behind. So right now you have 72 last hits. I bet if I look at the net worth graph, you're even lower though, because they're going to have, like this Ricky, his last hits are probably all lane creeps. Your last hits are all jungle creeps. Also, you've died 4 times. So look at net worth. Yes, you're below their supports. Because these jungle creeps are worth like 25 each. I think these guys are worth like 45 each. So, I mean, this jungle camp's only going to get you 100 gold. This creep wave would have got you 300 gold. Stuff like that. So that last number can be deceptive. Okay, so sorry, I lost your perspective there, but I didn't agree with that play before seeing what you did. So you're way behind. Once again, I know that you're way behind. I don't know if you feel that. You should know you're not having a great game. But you've only finished Blade Mail, which is not really like you'd want Blink Blade Mail. Otherwise, you want to be hunting for a gank or a kill. I think you just teleported into the middle of the team fight. Very underleveled, underfarmed. You have just the Blade Mail. Like the best case scenario is you win a duel and then die. The worst case scenario is you just die or feed them duel damage. But I don't think there's any scenario where you show up to a fight, win a duel, kill them all, get a team. I don't think that's happening. So I think that should be on you to know this is not a sufficient power spike, especially as a carry, to start fighting. Because your Blade Mail timing is 20 minutes. Right? You should know that a Blade Mail at 20 minutes is not very strong. I honestly don't even know if on Carry Legion Commander, if I would go for a Blink next. You might need to go for some farming item. You might need to go for like a Battle Fury or a Maelstrom or something. Because even when you get the Blink, it's not going to be in time. So you'd need to get something that's actually going to accelerate your farm. Like a Radiance or a Maelstrom or... I don't know. I can check Dota2 Pro Tracker and see it. This is something you can do, especially with a second monitor. Is pull this up. We'll see if there are any hard carry legions and what they're doing. So carry legion. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not all rushing Blink Blade Mail. Okay, so no pros are playing this. Yeah, there we go. Maelstrom. So this person got Blink Blade Mail, but they had it by the time you just had Blade Mail. This person Blink Blade. So that's what I was saying. If the timing's good, I think you can go this. But I think when you're behind, you're gonna need something else. This person's going Maelstrom, Echo Saber. So yeah, I think Maelstrom probably would have made more sense once you realize you had a bad game. Because once again, these items, the Blink Blade Mail, are for snowballing. It's too late for you to snowball. You now need to get farming items and catch up. And finally, maybe your 4-item timing is actually pretty good compared. You need to pull ahead of these people on farm. Luckily, their Ricky has like no farm. But yep, so this you just walk right into their whole team and die. It made no sense. In general, that's like map awareness. Being aware that their whole team's there, your team's not backing you up. That's not a situation where you can even get a gank. You'd want to wait until you have good information that like someone's alone. Say you see a fight going on down here and then there's snipers farming here. Okay, maybe that's something where you run up to them and Blade Mail duel them and hit your Q and whatever. And maybe something can happen. Maybe if you get someone with you. But you knew their team was here. You know your team's not. Once again, I don't know if you actually knew, but from the mini map, that was pretty obvious to me. I thought, yeah, it just doesn't really add up, and you just happen to get seen and deleted by their sniper, who, by the way, has double your net worth right now. And this is another thing. We've talked about like high interaction, low interaction, and lane, but also in the game. If you look at the scoreboard, and you see 12 and 2 sniper, you're 0-5, you should be saying to yourself, I want to not interact with this sniper at all. I'd even say it to my teammates. We shouldn't interact with sniper. Wherever sniper is, you go somewhere else. Sniper shows up in a lane, you go to the other side of the map. You don't want to go near this guy. Especially on a Legion, where if you duel anyone but him, he's going to delete you. And honestly, you can't even duel him, because he'll still win the duel. So you'd look at this, you'd say, maybe I want to interact with Puck. Maybe I want to interact with Ricky, maybe Phoenix, maybe Venomancer. He's doing pretty good, but absolutely not sniper. You should be able to look at your scoreboard. You should know this guy's he's unstoppable. I was going to say godlike, but like still. He's 12 and 2. You're 0 and 5. You want to be nowhere near him ever. So I think we'll disconnect from that game and take a look at another real quick. How long has this been? 34 minutes? Okay, we'll be real quick on the second one. Be real quick. Skywrath Mage. Let's go. I also main support, so this works out. Hopefully I can help you with the role you actually play. Download replay. So this is non-roles? Their team has roles, your team doesn't? Was that... I don't like playing without roles. That's me, especially at Herald, even worse. I would not trust my team to pick even pick all the 5 roles, let alone ones they're good at and stuff. Like, I just wouldn't do it. If I'm not in a party, I'm not doing the role-less mode. Yep. Player view. Once again, I see their team is full of hard carry. This is 5 hard carries on their team. Okay. So your goal should be to put a ton of pressure on them fast. With Skywrath,
Have a good, clean match today.
when you see the enemy team has 5 carries, you should be looking to punish that. You should be looking to use when you're strong to go punish them. So I would on Skywrath be thinking that this game, I want to be roaming and ganking starting at like even 4 or 5 minutes. Buying Smoke of Deceit, which I doubt you're going to do, but keeping up good wards, making kills happen, figuring out who you want to play around on your team. Figuring out who's strong at the moment. So once again, you're doing this again. Just walking up here. You had a little more backup, but you still have no idea what's up that hill. It happened to once again be their entire team. The rune's not spawning for 30 seconds. There's no point. There's no reason you should be standing here. At any higher elo, you'd die for that. Maybe not every time, but if their whole team's here, you would die for that at a higher elo. So just stop doing that. If you should be thinking, like, unless you have a good reason, just stay up the high ground, play it safe. There's no need to go there, especially 30 seconds for the rune spawns, 15 seconds for the rune spawns. Shouldn't be going there. And now you've given up this rune. Your team's not good enough to take the other rune. Your bounty hadn't even left base. Your team ended up giving up first blood to a team which you should be beating in the early game. Okay, so I do like this. I personally like putting it on the other side just so they can't, like, get this when they block this camp. They can't accidentally deward this, but that's just me. Okay. Okay, you're just auto attacking your team's creeps. That doesn't make sense. I don't think you should be doing that. Another thing, so you were good at you were working on drawing aggro. On support, there's a way to not draw aggro. So what you do on support is you walk away from the creep wave. The aggro range on the creep wave, it's like the same as the range creeps range. So if you're farther than that, you won't draw aggro. So you go outside that range, and then you do an attack on an enemy, and you won't draw aggro. You walk up, do a single attack. If you do a second one, it will draw aggro. Then you walk back. So you can just do that over and over and not even touch the creep aggro. On Sky, you should also be careful about your concussive shot pushing the wave. And you are just auto-attacking the wave, which no reason to do, shouldn't be doing. You're gonna want mana regen in this lane also, and you have a Null Talisman coming out. I'd just like ship out Clarities, because this is a lane where you want to be putting pressure on them. And you're almost out of mana. You have 2 more spell casts, and you're out of mana. So I'd be shipping out Clarities, Mangoes. I'm very surprised your build does not have those. Look, mine has 2 Mangoes. What's Tortellini have? Okay, so this is Tortellini, but that's position 4. Okay, I'm suspicious that support Skywraths are not buying mana regen in lane. Beyond a Null Talisman. So support 4, support 5. Start starting with a wand, starting with a mango. Okay, it's not 100%. There's not that many of them. Wait, let's turn it off. If only pros. Okay, I just think they're all wrong. This guy's starting with a Sage's Mask at least. What about position 4? Only pros. Okay, this is a little weird to me, but I guess people are doing it. But yeah, I would be thinking a clarity here or something would be giving. What's coming on the courier? I can't really see the just award. Okay, yeah, I'd be thinking a clarity right now. Could your mango, like, that could give you a kill on one of these guys, and that's worth it. And I think even just seeing the situation and realizing and pivoting from like, okay, my build has me getting a null talisman, but 2 mangoes would win me this lane instantly and pay for themselves, right? I maybe end up getting kills anyway, but it'll be once again with off of the fact that you look at this lineup, the game plan is to get a ton of kills and get going early. The later this game goes, or if they win the early game, it's like over. Not really, once again, it's Herald. So yeah, now you're out of mana, now you're just a big creep. I also think you split your damage between them. The Terrorblade support, this guy's carry, this guy's lower. I think you should just have been focusing this guy. And let me... Yeah, are you... The visual bugs are brutal. Okay. That hit him. Yeah, so you hit him with one spell and hit him with the other, right? It's... Splitting the damage is not great. You just want to pick someone and focus on them. Okay, now Ricky goes in, but you have no mana to really help him. And he's getting bullied. Oh. Okay, they're bad. Yeah, that kind of worked out. You should give Ricky a tango. Let's see, he doesn't have any more. You should check that once again, checking other people's inventories. But he doesn't have a tango. You should feed him one.
Dire's middle tower taking.
Where are you putting the sword? I think you should work on half pulls. In my opinion, they're objectively better. When I watch high level sports, they do half pulls. The way you do a half pull is, so the creeps will aggro like specifically when you get a, well, actually that's with range stuff. This is all melee, but either way, you wait until this is a little further, then you draw the aggro, and you try and get like just the last 2 or the last 3. That way, they will all die against this creep camp. And also, some still go here and stop the wave from instantly pushing in. So instead of, if you do this, then like 1 or 2 of these will die, and then the creep wave will come all the way under tower, and then 2 of your creeps will come, and then your next creep wave comes, and then it's under tower, you have a creep wave and a half, and then suddenly you have a creep wave and a half pushing out. So what this pull does is it makes the creep wave go like this and then immediately shoot back out to where it was. What a half pull does is it makes it go stay here and then fall back and then end up right here. And they just lose the XP and stuff. The only downside is they should know immediately that it happened. I don't really, I don't know who fortified, which it sucks for you. That's yeah, who for what? Okay, I don't know. Maybe these guys fortified the tower dive. I don't know, but it's really unfortunate for you that a fortify happened while you were pulling. But yeah, you're gonna see that this now ends up under tower with a full creep wave. You're gonna end up with a double creep wave. And it's going to go right under their tower where they want it. And if they're good, they'll stop it from going under tower. But anyway. Yeah, your carries at this level, they're like way more focused on just fighting non-stop. And I think by like grabbing some items like those mangoes could help you with that, because you can't get them not to do it. And you miss that also, which I guess I won't get into, but that's like when you have a mana problem, that might be a higher priority. So, okay, once again, I think do the half pull.
I'll take that.
Because, yep, once again, you're going to see every time you do that, the lane actually ends up pushing out. So yeah, I think you just have too much mana problems to put pressure on them, and it also stops you from going and ganking another lane. So I would say 1, realize that the game plan here has to be to get kills early. 2, use your spells on the same person. Splitting them between the 2 enemies is really, really bad. It makes all your mana half as useful, right? As if you were just focusing with spells on a single person. It's up to you to pick which person, but you should just focus on the one person. My god, the Terrorblade has like an actual carry build, even though he's not carry. Very cool. And now because of that, you're not winning this lane, and you don't have the resources to go to another lane. So you don't have regen. You're using your spells inconsiderately, right? So if you use them all on one person, maybe you'd get a kill. If you brought some regen, maybe you'd get a kill, and also maybe you'd have some mana to go make some play mid or something. No, your mid's not there. That's all besides the point. Your mid just died, but still. I think sitting here and pulling should not be really the game plan. Especially, I think once Ricky gets invis, you should just leave this lane. I think once he gets invis, he can handle himself. The invisibility is invincibility at the CeeLo. Yeah. So then, yeah, okay. I think you should also, when you're doing pulls, like aggressively deny your own creeps the moment they're below half health, and do as little damage to their creeps as possible. This once again, now the wave's under tower, and you're gonna have a double wave. This guy is gonna be fighting nonstop. He can't help himself. The rookie has that. Okay, that's fine. Sorry, get back on you. But yeah, you just have no mana, so you're not very useful. And it's like 7 minutes, so it's getting to be too late to make a huge impact on the map. Let's go 4x. Because yeah, now you're just sitting here right-clicking an illusion.
Middle tower is taking damage. Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, I'd just leave the lane, let you get 6, and get some regen shipped out. I don't know what you have, but I doubt it. Yeah, it's a Ring of Basilisk, so it's not really enough. So with 5 mana regen per second. Right, what's the math on this? That's like every 20 seconds you get a spell or so. I mean, it's not awful, but that means that in time it takes you to walk from one lane to another, you get 1 spell. If you once got to just grab some clarities, and then when you walk from one lane to another, you're getting full clarity. I don't know off the top of my head how much they give, 150. So they'll give you 2 spells. So if you had a clarity, 50 extra gold, and then you walk mid, in that time you get 3 extra spells. So on top of the 3-ish you can cast right now, and you could go mid and cast 6 spells. Make a difference. I don't think babysitting this rookie is going to win you the game. I think once he's 6, you just... Or even once he's close to 6, which he is, you just totally ditch him. He has invisibility, he shouldn't die. You're in this weird spot. You could even go walk to base and then teleport out to a lane where it looks like something's going to happen, or walk out to lane, smoke out to lane, whatever. But I really think your focus needs to be on winning other lanes than just this one. So, I mean, we'll see. Theoretically, Ricky should have a good game here, but I don't know if that's enough.
Now I'm watching a kill spree.
Is being attacked.
As I said, for me, it's just insane to sit even if you're occasionally, even if you got 3 assists, right? It's insane as a support, as a Skywrath. Really shouldn't be position 5. Whatever. As a Skywrath, as any support, to just sit in lane for 11 minutes. And especially when I see this lineup where their team has no support. When their team has no support, this is your strongest point these last 11 minutes. Now you're already in the process of falling off. And I feel like you didn't use it. So, we can play through this a bit, but I think you're spending way too long up here. I think Skywrath's like a roaming ganking support. Even if played from 5, Ricky can handle himself. If you get him, it's level 6. but you just don't leave your lane.
Radiant's top tower is under
Okay,
siege.
so now you're leaving lane. Your mid tower's already gone. You didn't
Radiant's
do
top
anything
tower is
there.
being attacked.
Bring a ward down to theoretically take that tower.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked. Has been murdered.
Yeah, doing a pull here, like it does. There's no reason. It just there are way more important things you should be doing. You have full mana and a mana boot. You have 1,000 mana. You have an ult. You haven't used your ult yet. You're level 9, and I don't think I've seen you use your ult yet. I mean, maybe I can. Maybe I missed it. But okay, you used it right when you got it. Fair enough. But
Dire's middle tower is now
let's see.
fortified their towers.
How long do you have your ult for?
Dire's middle tower is being Radiant's top tower is under siege.
Okay, so from here, so from 13 minutes you had your ult, and once again this is where you're strong in the game. Or from 13 minutes 45.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
Because I feel like you're full mana, you should be looking for a fight. Like stuff like placing wards, just what you should do when you're like low on mana and just waiting for it to regen. A pull isn't even something you should be doing 15 minutes into the game. Okay, there's your ult. So 2 minutes ish, a little less of not using the ult, of not using that full mana. The other thing is, on a hero like Sky, you should be thinking about who can actually enable you to get a good ult. Now, nobody really can, but the Veno and the Bounty are the ones I'd see, unless Sniper has the... No, he does not. But Sniper's other talent he could help. But your team has no stuns. But you're playing around the two people who can't help you land an ult, and not around, like, Bounty has a bit of a stun, and Veno has a lot of slows. I think you'd want to play around them and let them, you know, slow somebody, mini stun somebody, and then you drop an ult. Ricky and Sniper, they can't slow people down unless Ricky has a defusal.
That is a double kill.
Radiant's top tower is fallen. Radiant's middle tower is taken down. No more middle tower for Radiant.
I don't know how much more there is to say, because it's like your hero's impact's already fallen off. And what you did with it was you got this 1k lead for your team, and I just don't think that's enough. I think like if this game goes, once again, another situation that your team's been set up in, there's a reason these 5 carry lineups are popular at low elo. It's because people don't know how to end the game. So if every game's going 50, 45, 50 minutes, then these lineups become actually pretty good. And you should realize that they have a 5 carry lineup, your team does not. And this was your power spike, and it didn't feel like there was a sense of urgency to actually do things to win the game. In that time, you just kind of sat top, and you walked mid and didn't do anything, and then walked back top. So you pretty much sat top for 18 minutes, and I don't think it's paid off.
Dire's bottom tower, middle tower is taking damage.
What is that? Okay, whatever. Ulting creeps makes 0 sense to me. Sniper ulting that creep camp makes no sense to me. Okay, and now you're just dying to the Luna that you never shut down. Wait, was their Luna their mid? I believe their Luna was their mid. Who I've been telling you to gank this whole time, and now she's, 20 minutes in. She's 10,000 net worth. The Ricky you spent this whole game helping is the lower net worth than your support. Your support's the highest net worth on your team. Like, I don't know which of these two is the offlaner, which was the support, but the point still stands. You needed to shut down their carries early, and you didn't shut down, especially their mid. I was saying the whole time, go shut down their mid, save up some mana, get a clarity, a smoke, whatever, go mid. That's what you do on Skywrath. What you do not on Skywrath, you don't sit in the same lane for 18 minutes. And this is what happens. Now their mid has 10,000 net worth. Their mid's 25% bigger than anyone else in the game. And you just die if you go near them. Yeah, these ults are bad. I don't know what the pick order was. Skywrath was a very bad pick with your team because there's not a single stun on your team. So there's nothing to set up you for a good ult. Which is, I mean, I guess whatever. As support, you probably first picked, but I don't know. Maybe I can go check.
Dire team pick.
Faceless void.
10 seconds to pick. 5.
Some Sky.
Okay. Okay. I can't be too mad at that, but is what it is.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
I don't know how much more there is to say. To me, it feels like this game's already lost, right? This is when your team's supposed to be strong. This is when your team's supposed to be winning the game. This is when your team's supposed to be taking T2 towers. Instead, you're down 5k net worth and you're about to be trapped in your base. So it was just not realizing that was your win condition, and then not really executing on it. Okay, you got their Luna. That's great and all. That's gonna happen too. Nobody at this level can keep a lead and not die. But in general, they're still at a 4k lead instead of a 5k lead. It's still the same. You guys need to be winning now, and because of the way you played the early game, I believe, you did not punish them for their draft. I mean, obviously, like that's very bad. I don't know what more to say there, but I don't think stuff like that. I don't think is the problem. People are going to do that in their first 100 games. I just think that you played Skywrath too passively. You can go and I mean, I just want to see if I can. Oh, no, what? We have this pulled up here. So we'll just look at whatever hard support Skywrath even. What's that? Okay, so here Arise pro player won his Skywrath game. Oh, it's 3 days ago. I can't look at it. Okay, let's look at I don't know, 3, 2, and 9. That's not like crazy. So I just want to make a point that you're probably not going to see these people sit in safe lane for 18 minutes. Replays, search for match ID. Okay, so these people are all like top 1,000 in their server. I don't know what server we're in, but that's besides the point. Where is the Skywrath? Wait, what? Did I copy the wrong link? Skywrath, oh. That's Skywrath. I look like Terrorblade. Okay. So we're just gonna 8 times speed is it through this. I bet at like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, they're already out of their lane ganking. I bet money on it. That they have not by 7 minutes that they have not gone mid once. Okay, so immediately they're smoking and doing stuff. Yeah, that's too fast.
Open it up and see if it's not in there. I'm telling you, it's a lock, mate.
Both teams are actually smoking and wrapping around on each other. Once again, you notice this is another thing you can do. You can just go look at pro games. You can go, like I've been going to Dota2 Pro Tracker and grabbing replays. You can also go to Watch tab live. You can just watch, look, this guy, he's the 6th highest rated player on his server. You'll watch him play Elder Titan. You can type in here, Skywrath Mage. You know, you can just watch, you know, here's a game that just started. The Skywrath Mage is rank... Well, I'm ranked 200 on his server. Right? And you just watch them and just get even a vague idea of how they play the hero. Because I know for a fact that how you played Skywrath's not how they're going to play Skywrath. Even from a macro sense, they're not going to sit top for 20 minutes. Okay. So, let's just see. When's the first time this guy roams mid for a gank or goes bottom for a gank? I'm suspecting it will be like between 4 and 6 minutes. Okay, let's see, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, no. Wait, what just happened there? I went 16 times speed.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
Visual bugs. Okay, so he's already heading mid. Boom, 6 minutes he's mid. Securing a rune for his mid. I think he decides there's no gank because this guy's here. Knows he's there, but he's already going and helping out mid 6 minutes into the game. He stacked and on the way, and this is just higher level stuff. On the way, he stacked a camp. He grabbed a rune. He grabbed this thing. He secured this rune. He was ready to gank. There was an opportunity, and then he's back here for this. But, see, okay,
Tower is being attacked.
he's already going and doing stuff, trying to steal their wisdom rune. He fed, you know, is what it is.
Radiant's tower is being attacked.
But
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
okay, taking over the mid lane. Okay, he's going bot now, right? My thing bugged out. Yeah, he went bot and he fed, but
Under fire.
that is besides the point. This was a losing game, but 11 minutes in, once again, by now you had not left the lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
Yeah, he's fighting again, he's invading their jungle. Like, this is stuff you could be doing. This is how Skywrath's played.
Being attacked.
Because I think now is the first time you left lane at all, and all you did was stand here and then walk back top. Which was a total waste of time. So, I think I've generally made the point that as Skywrath, you'd want to be very active in the early game. I think if you went and looked at a position for Skywrath, you'd see even more roaming. You'd probably see a roam at like 4, 5, 6 minutes, not just 6 minutes securing a rune. And once again, if the monkey had gone for that rune, then there would have been a fight. Or if the monkey pushed the tower, and there would have been a fight. But the monkey was hiding under his tower. But anyway, that's the point. I think that because you didn't do all this kind of stuff, and you can go look at these people and see how they play, I think that's where it went wrong. Now, this has gone on way the hell too long already, so I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.